Great to have you with us here. Bill Pito, along with Wallace Zerbiak. Give the Knicks credit. Down 15 in the third quarter, end up with 40 points in the third quarter, and oh so close to forcing overtime there at the buzzer.
What a game. You know, those are two teams that have lofty goals, obviously, this year to win an NBA championship. You could see why. They laid it out all out on the table on a back-to-back. Guys were breathing hard in this game. Jalen Brunson just couldn't find it. Something about the way the ball was coming off his hand. It just looked like it wasn't releasing as smooth as it normally does. And, you know, it's just a tough loss. A gritty game. That's a good team. They throw a lot of guys at you. And, you know, the Knicks just couldn't get a bucket to go at the end.
So Brunson only 5 of 18 shooting. And he had some opportunities banging around. The OKC, you watch them, Wally, they're so physical.
Yes.
Wave after physical wing. And you got Kason Wallace on Brunson. I mean, they're so tough.
They're tough.
They're tough.
And that's how they built their team. And that's what every other team is trying to do in the NBA, to just have multiple bodies that can play defense at a physical level, like the Knicks have starting to accumulate with guys like Shamet and Diawara and Hart and Bridges and Anunoby, similar type players, and they can shoot. And they can make a play off the dribble. And then you surround them with guys like Towns and Brunson, and obviously Shea. Jalen Williams wasn't playing tonight. Their other star player, an all-star.
He's only played 26 games all year long.
That's what's scary about this team.
Yeah.
I know. That's what's really scary. When he comes back after this hamstring injury, then it's a whole nother ball game to deal with this team when he's back in the lineup. So that was a hard-fought game. The Knicks were right there, and you know, you can't hang your head on that one. You just got to go back to the drawing board and get ready for Friday against Denver.
So the Knicks with a season-low first-half point total of only 40. They're down 50-40 at the half, but they're up by 3 after 3 at 80-77, and it came down to the stretch. And let's take everyone through the stretch.
That's all you want. I mean, these are two MVP candidates going at it in the fourth quarter in a crunch time game under 5 minutes. That was a big shot right there from the corner, and this team is assembled. Wiggins hit that one, is assembled to knock down shots when you double team Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. And then OG Anunoby answers. That's exactly how the Knicks play. A double thrown right there on Jalen Brunson. OG Anunoby make a play, go right to the basket. They tried to challenge that one.
They got it right.
Getting it right.
Got the challenge.
They got the call right, yes, because the guy was standing there. But anytime the offensive player is trying to avoid him and barely grazes him, it shouldn't be an offensive foul. OG Anunoby learned from that one. He said, I'm just going to throw it on everyone's head. The next time he got that opportunity, big bucket here. This moves the lead to 6. And when you get that mid-range 2, taking the ball again out of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's hands pretty much every possession. That's the only 3 he took all night.
And put him up by 5.
Put him up by 5.
Key shot of the game, only 3 he took all night.
Yep, and that's what he does. And then Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson playing buddy ball for a couple possessions here down the stretch. With Josh Hart at the 5, he knows exactly where to go to beat Jalen Brunson's outlet. That was a big shot. Here's a 3-point game. Call a timeout. Get a good look. Jalen, that's what I mean, just came off his hand a little wrong, and that's the shot you got to make. Wide open off an offensive rebound. I know OG Anunoby would have loved to have that one back. That's a really good look that he makes most of the time. But again, your legs are tired on a back-to-back, hard-fought game, just came up a little bit short. What a ball game, though, 2 elite teams in the NBA.
Look at the 3-point shooting. OKC outscores the Knicks by 18 points from 3. But look at the rest of the numbers, Wally. As points in the paint, 46 for the Knicks, 20 for OKC. And fast break points, 2 for OKC, 14 for the Knicks. And they outboarded them by 10. So aside from the 3-point shooting, it's amazing you only lose by 3 when you're outscored by 18 points from downtown.
If the Knicks did not shoot to their capabilities. I saw it in the first quarter. They were getting open looks. They generated some good offense. And against the #1 defensive team in the NBA, Oklahoma City, you got to make the open ones when you get them, because they're not going to give you a lot of open shots. And what you do against good teams is sometimes when you are open, you think to yourself, am I really going to be that open? Is there defenders coming from somewhere? And it starts to rush your timing a little bit. And I think that's what happened to the Knicks early. They started to settle in that third quarter, but overall, they need to knock down more of their open shots. They had a lot of open looks when they watched the film that they're going to say to themselves they should have knocked down.
Speaking of knocking down shots, how about Chet Holmgren? 6 threes made in the first half. That ties his career high for a single game. But he didn't have a three the rest of the night. 22 of his 28 came in the first half. He's our thrilling moment, Wally, brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. 22 of his 28 came in half number 1.
Yeah, the Knicks let him get going in that first quarter. He had 3 threes to start the game, first 6 minutes. And when a shooter gets into rhythm, then it's just like target practice. And he continued to just let it go from deep. Stayed at 6, though, so he tied his career high with 6 threes. They were all in that first half. But he started to score in other ways. At 7 feet tall, the Knicks had some mismatches. I love the way Brunson fought him on that play and made him work to get that shot. But it just goes to show you how skilled he is. He can make that little mid-range, that pull-up. When you run him off the 3, that's what the Knicks adjusted at halftime. Don't let him get any more threes because he made 6 on us at halftime. And when you run him off the 3, he can take the ball to the basket, and he can also hit that little pull-up. So big-time game for Chet Holmgren, and that's why he's such a versatile, tough 7-footer to defend.
Karl-Anthony Towns fouled out, but before he did foul out, what a game. 17 points. 17 rebounds, including 9 offensive rebounds for Cat. That's a season high for him on the offensive glass.
Listen, every time the shot went up, he was saying to himself, just like Mitchell Robinson does normally, I'm getting every rebound. And he almost did. And no Hartenstein, who was banged up, he went out of the game. So when Cat was out there, he was the biggest, strongest body out there by far, and he imposed his will big time on the glass. Big time. It was awesome to see him be so relentless.
Only got 8 shots, Wally.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't matter. Like, you just play the game. He doesn't force. He takes the shots he knows he can make. This is what more do you want out of your big man? He's playing defense. He's rebounding. He's getting offensive rebounds. He's allowing all the shooters, guards, three-point shooters to get as many shots as they want. If they miss, he's going to clean up the mess. I mean, you can't ask more about your big man. At times when he does get switched onto a smaller defender, you want to get him the ball because he'll make the right decision, whether it's scoring the basketball or assisting the basketball to get an open guy a shot. At the same time, the effort, you can't second-guess that type of effort. Just a big-time effort by Cat. The fouls at the end, the challenge, I don't know how that goes against him, where the ball's tipped. It looked like it was off Dort, and then they re-adjudicate the play and say it's a foul on Towns.
Okay, that's the risk of these challenges.
I know.
When they find something that they didn't originally call.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And it was such a ticky-tack play where Dort's a smaller guy. Towns is just going for the ball. It's up there. And just because he's bigger and stronger and he makes a little bit of contact, on a 6'5" guy, he gets the benefit of the doubt on the call. That was a tough one that went Towns' way against Towns. And then he committed the foul on Shai Gilgeous. So missing him at the end was a big loss.
Jalen Brunson, we mentioned his shooting only 5 of 18, but he did pass off for a season-high 15 assists.
Yeah. That was great, and he read the defense. I mean, Oklahoma City is not going to let Jalen beat them. You could see it. Exactly the way the Knicks were defending Shai Gilgeous. They were taking the ball out of his hand.
Pounded Jalen all night, didn't they?
They were pounding him and double-teaming him. I mean, all night he had 2 guys in his face when he crossed half court, and they were just saying, we don't think the other guys can beat us. We don't think the other guys can make enough shots. And as a result, that big 3 is what really got the game close. That's what tied it up in that third quarter. That's when the Garden erupted. But overall, Jalen Brunson played a great floor game, but I know him as a player. When he watches this film, he's going to be like, I should have made a few more shots, because there were times where he did get a couple open looks, and for some reason, whether it's legs back to back, ball just didn't come off his hand like it normally does. He's a human being. It happens. And he'll adjust and he'll make those shots in the future.
All right, let us bring in Monica McNutt. As always, she helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York. Monica, what are you thinking about as you digest what you saw tonight?
I forgot to put on my earrings. That's my first thought. Second thought.
Details.
I know, right, Pito? So I really applaud the second half by the New York Knicks. I think to have had a chance to send this thing to overtime is very, very impressive, considering that I don't know if you guys felt this, but for it to be a 5-point lead for much of the last 4 minutes of the ball game, I don't know that I've ever felt a 5-point lead that felt that insurmountable. So to be in that position with the final seconds of the game to tie it up, very impressive. I think One thing that came to mind for me, and Wally, tell me if you saw this at all, there were some moments in the offense where I'm not sure if it's the concepts or if it's the actual call or what. This is a defense that demands that whatever you're running or whatever you're doing, it's got to be done tightly and crisply. And I thought that the Knicks had to pay for the times that they were sort of disconcerted, if you will, getting up shots late in the shot clock just to avoid a shot clock violation. Ultimately, this becomes a one-possession ball game, so all of those cost you down the stretch. I also thought that the Knicks were rushed courtesy of this defense, which is exactly what they do and who they are. But in the moments where we saw guys like Landry Shamet, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart get to the rim, they had 46 paint points, y'all. Like, there's some real bright spots in this game and holding these guys to 103 points. But there were also some lows that I think the winning victory is in the margins and in the details, and the Knicks just weren't crisp enough in totality tonight.
I saw it too. They were rushed, no question. And then when they did execute good offense and they got a good shot that they normally make, they just weren't in rhythm because that's what Oklahoma City does. They make you a little bit uncomfortable, and as a result, down the stretch, Jalen missed some shots. What do you think, Monica, that he normally makes?
That floater was one of them. Yep. I'm with you.
Yeah. Monica, I know you wanted to give some folks a shout-out. I kind of messed it up in the pregame.
Oh, that's right.
Didn't give you a chance. So the floor, my friend, is yours.
Oh, thank you, Pito. It's all good. But I just wanted to shout out Debbie and Joy from DSN. They play basketball over in Newark. I love running into the young ladies that hoop and love the Knicks just like I do. So I just want to shout out to those girls. It was great to chat with them earlier today. Nothing big, Pito, but I thank you for taking accountability on Best Friend Night.
Well, yeah, it's Best Friends Night, and I'm trying to make the peace with you, so we're good down the stretch and in the playoffs.
We're good.
Don't worry. I got his bracelet right here, Monica. I got his bracelet that you gave him right here.
There we go.
All right. Enjoy the road trip, my friend, at Denver on Friday.
We'll talk soon, y'all. Thanks.
All right. Mike Brown's postgame comments coming up. Oh, so close tonight for his team, but they dropped the Knicks to 40.